As I return to the world of the living, after my flu-activated productivity hiatus, I find myself eager to direct my attention once again to the primary theme of this message delivery platform, and that is, of course, authenticity. I had the flu, my wife had the flu, our daughter did not suffer the effects of this malady, though we collectively share a common space. This has generated an operational shift for us going forward. What's the deal? Well, here's a thing. Ah, yes. Here I sit, back from the flu, Earl Grey black in hand. Incidentally, I find it amusing that we refer to it as the flu. Not, she suffers from influenza, or he has flu. No, we have the flu. I suppose this entertains me because I am a product of the American Southern culture, and I hear things like, well, he got the high blood, and she has a touch of the rheumatiz. Also, we tend to add possession to any brick and mortar business we frequent, like Walmart's and Kroger's.
Hey, sissy! You going to get supplies at the Walmart's or at the Kroger's?
It's bewildering. But perhaps, in the words of Alton Brown, that's another show. And listen, I can poke fun because they're my people. You stay away. You know the rules.
The word you're looking for is... anyway.
Right. So anyway, back to the flu. My wife was thoroughly and severely decked. I wasn't too badly afflicted, and our child, well, she proceeded merrily on about her life without a sniffle cough or any hint of malaise. Perhaps this is the point at which you make the rather short leap to the conclusion that the child had her flu shot, but we did not. And you would be correct. Don't judge. We are not opposed to vaccinations. We had all our childhood shots, and God knows the Department of Defense jammed all kinds of who knows what into my system. It's certainly not a needle thing either. We operate under zero-factor principles in this family, and a little pinch on the arm isn't going to unduly influence our daily enterprise. Although, you should remind me sometime to tell the story of the day I took my daughter to the doctor for a routine checkup, and none of us knew it was Vax Day. Try working your kid's courage up for a couple of shots. Making it to the waiting room door only to be called back in because they forgot one. Buddy, I had to fight back the trauma dragon that day. Although I guess now you don't have to remind me, as I've just given you the abridged version. As I was saying, we have no aversion to receiving flu shots. We simply did not place a premium value on the process. Life is all about value. Life is all about decisions. My wife and I have spent our adult lives unconsciously calculating an equation whose solution is derived from the factors of time, cost, and effort, and the subsequent value of its correlation to our resources. In other words, it wasn't worth it to go get a flu shot. We're both in good health, have reasonably good family health histories, and avoid substances that will damage our body's cleansing and healing capabilities, if you know what I'm talking about. We nourish ourselves appropriately, we wash our hands often, we stay active and do our best to avoid unhealthy environments. Because of this, and likely more than a little good luck, the two of us have had the flu maybe 4 times between us in our 20-plus years together. After this latest simultaneous bout with the dread disease, well, we have committed to becoming flu shot disciples. Why now? Why not years ago? Well, I blame ignorant and inauthentic marketing. Now, it's no secret and no sin that governments and corporations have been engaged in the marketing of goods and services since the first gathered tribes of the Fertile Crescent. Just ask Edward Bernays why bacon and cigarettes are culturally ubiquitous. Cancer commerce aside, Like it or not, there are genuine existential benefits to a certain amount of control within a close society. Primary is general health and sanitation, without which we all die or proceed down the path of perdition with all kinds of disease and malady. No one wants that. Go read Leviticus and translate it into today's language. That's fun for you. There's nothing new under the sun, people. So where did our leadership fail at getting me on board the flu shot train? They don't understand the average person like me who has limited resources, the ability to reason, and a sharp contempt for bullshit. Did I just describe you in 14 words? Now you know you're in the right place. Anyway, for some inexplicable reason, those in positions of leadership steadfastly refuse to market matters of general public welfare to us. What do they do instead? Well, here's an example. Every municipality in America has a local law enforcement unit or utilizes the services of the county sheriff's department if it's really small. These municipalities have services which need funding. This is why you encounter cops hiding in the bushes with speed measuring devices at strategic locations. Instead of being forthright with the people and simply stating that they are collecting revenue through traffic citations, we're all held by the hand and told that the speed traps are an earnest effort to promote public safety. Bullshit. If that were the case, I'd see them in plain view at the dangerous blind intersection near my house where it's common knowledge that half the vehicles are speeding but still accelerating, instead of hiding a mile further down the road at a spot where everyone has reached their terminal velocity on a very flat, very straight, open highway. Higher dollar tickets. Stop playing word games and be authentic. Tell the people the truth, and you'll foster better relationships within your community. So how do the marketers of public health get me into the chair for my flu shot? Speak to me and you using meaningful and authentic language. Don't shame me. Don't tell me it's for my own good. I'm not 6 years old. And I swear to God, not one more reference to the good of the children. If you only talk to the sheepdogs will begin to ignore you. So here's what happened. My wife and I got sick, lost 10 working days between us, wasted an entire day between doctors and pharmacies, and spent about $500 on exams and drugs. Getting a flu shot would have taken less than an hour and cost less than $90 combined. That's it. Tell me that. Why is that so hard? Genuine, factual, authentic marketing based on information instead of emotion. Tell me about the process. Inform me. We don't go to the doctor for every sniffle, bump, and scrape. We suck it up and power through. I'm not in the milieu and I don't know the drill. If you have useful information that's beneficial to me, give it to me in language that I can use to determine my best path for survival. Allow me to employ the OODA loop with solid intel. You know, every fighting force from that unit that doesn't have a name anymore, all the way down to the Marine fire team, has a mantra. Shoot, move, and communicate. Got to do it to accomplish the mission. Can't be done without coherent information transmission. Come on, leadership. Be authentic. I can handle it, and so can most of the folks. You can still market panic to the hypochondriacs and pearl clutchers of the world. Just don't forget about the people who pay society's bills. By the way, if you read between the lines, you understand that the preceding story also explains why forced, centrally disseminated health care will bankrupt everything with which it comes into contact. So, there you go. And that's enough to ponder for now. This episode of the podcast is dedicated to the resolute warriors of the medical community around the globe who brave the ravages of disease each and every day. Ranger on. To you I give the words of Lewis Black. Valentine's Day, look, I get that you have to have a holiday of love, but in the middle of flu season, it makes no sense. Here's the Thing can be found on the Podbean app, iTunes and Apple Podcast. Here's the Thing at Podbean.com, Google Podcasts, and lots of other places in the podcast universe, including TuneIn and iHeartRadio. Also, you can ask your disembodied AI robot servant voice in the corner to play the podcast for you as well. Episodes will also be posted on Twitter and Facebook. Search everywhere for Here's a Thing. Please subscribe, rate, and review. Your active support is critical, so click that button. It only takes a moment to make a difference. Become a patron and donate to the cause by following the show link. Welcome aboard, New Hampshire. Live free or die, baby. Germany and Australia. Thank you for your time and devotion to reason. Let's keep growing the family. Share the show with a friend. Whatever you're about to do, get after it 100% or don't bother the rest of us. You owe that to yourself because integrity matters. If you can't be anything else today, be authentic. It'll pay off. And for the love of mercy, people, wash your grubby paws and do it often. This concludes today's programming. Please resume your day.